If you're here for knockouts, bad blood, and the breakdowns, you're in the right place. I am your host, Kelby Cedarquist, and sitting next to me is Derek Schramm.
Woo! How you doing?
Good, doing
How
good.
about those fights? Pretty good, huh?
Yeah, it was a really good main card. Can't complain. I heard there were some good little fights on the prelims, but we're here to talk about the main card today. Yeah, it was some really good fights, especially early on. We had a couple quick stoppages with the Salkild fight, and then Tai Tuivasa. That was Tai didn't look too beautiful. And then we go into who was right after Tai. I'm drawing a blank.
Fazeev.
Yeah,
Ooh,
Fazine. That was a fun fight. Fun
that was
fight.
fun.
Yeah, Volk fight was amazing. Yeah, let's just go fight by fight. Let's get into it. We'll start with the first fight. I just need
All
a
right.
pull.
Hello, Whisperers joining us.
Hey,
Whisper, who won the fight?
the person,
No,
women's. They'll whisper there was no women in this fight.
no, Whisper. There was not. All right, let's get into Quillan Salkild versus Jamie Malarkey. First fight on the main card. Definitely the fighter that they wanted to put some eyes on. The only Aussie versus Aussie matchup on the card, deep in the lightweights
Weight
on
division. Yeah, it was. I was thoroughly surprised that they kind of made this fight, but I guess it does make sense with them being in Australia doing the Aussie fight. Started off these Killian Sarkeen, man, that dude's a fucking savage. He put on the pressure, went for the takedowns, got him down, and finally submitted him after like the third time.
Yeah,
Jamie had a couple stops on the takedowns, got up, but even it just it's how we saw it in the UFC 325 breakdown in our last video. We kind of knew that Saki was going to win it. I said it's going to be lucky if we gets out of the second round, and by God, it stayed in the first round.
yeah, no, staying in the first round. I got the what do you call it? Performance of the night bonus for Quillen, so he's 100K richer. Good for him.
Yeah,
Yeah, rear naked choke round one. About what 3 minutes in the first round,
yeah,
and they're going to the ground pretty much right away. But I'd say the problem is with that is like every time they got to the back, Malarkey would just completely roll over, give up the back to try to stand up. So I mean, yeah, he got him choked down the first round, but he had three opportunities. He could have got him choked down the first minute if he really maybe went for it. I'm not saying he should have. Obviously, take your time. It's you know what I mean. But yeah, no, absolutely. I'm sorry. 1 second. Go ahead.
no. Sawkid was mean, quick, and efficient. Grappled nice, had great, amazing lateral movement. He just kept it to the side, and then when he needed to, he went in and got the takedowns. It was just one of those fun, quick, really good fights. Great fight to start off the card with. Those
Mm-hmm.
fans loved it. They were all there in attendance for that first fight. It was really cool to see them being very supportive of the first fight of their own
Yeah,
Australian brothers.
no, he's good. Quinlan's really good. Definitely excited to see him fight other lightweights. Malarkey, yeah, that was a kind of a rough performance with him. I don't really know what his game plan was. Maybe like try to land power, drag it out. But
The
yeah,
game
no,
plan wasn't showing. I bet he had a game plan, but it didn't show.
yeah. I mean, not to,
Um,
dunk on him. But yeah, just immediately giving up the back every single time they got into a grappling exchange. I mean, I was kind of expecting him to like okay, if you're going to do that, like explode to your feet,
yeah,
get on all fours, bump up. But he was fine with just kind of like slowly doing it. It's like that's a lot of time to have like a yeah, and well, just like so much back exposure in the first round. It's like yeah, I get it when it happens, but like there was just
mm,
a pretty bad technique. And like it doesn't matter who was initiating the grappling, and just almost immediately. And it's like I don't want to just say Jamie Malarkey gave up his back every time. Obviously, Quinlan found the back too,
correct.
but he got to the back constantly. And yeah, we knew that was going to. It's five. Or I don't want to say 5 minutes in the fight. It didn't last that long. About a minute watching the fight, you knew he was looking for that submission.
When you come into the first round fresh and you have all the energy that you need, and you're already giving up the back after the first 2 minutes, it's
Mm-hmm.
basic 101 wrestling. It's you just don't do that. It's just mind blowing. For Sakid, I know we're not doing any matchmaking, but real quick, do you think they'll try to get him maybe a
Yeah,
possible
I think
ranked 15, 14, 13
he's
guy?
not ready for ranked
Not,
yet.
not yet, but right
Not in
before
that division.
somebody in the 20s.
Here, yeah, I mean, pretty much. Like, it's just, all right, so his best wins now, Nasrat Hack Press and Jamie Malarkey. You
Yeah,
know, it's just one of
he's
those
super
things.
young.
Yeah, good. He's getting the names. Both of those are performance bonuses. Pretty sure he already has three. 4 fights in the UFC. He has three performance bonuses, so he's doing something right. But yeah, he's not quite. Here, let me just look at the Tapology UFC rankings. What did they have him at? They have him at number 25.
Number
You know,
25. Okay. So he'll break into possibly the top 20 if
yeah.
they give him another fight. Somewhere around there right before the ranked matches. He's still so young. Dana, it'd be good if Dana keeps him, just don't give him to the Wolves quite yet. He's not there. But he is a pretty
Mhm.
dominating force outside of the ranked fighters in lightweight.
Yeah, no, he's really good. And again, I'm trying to let me.
He had great technique, great footwork, great lateral movement. And then when he went in for the takedowns, they were fast, clean, and efficient. I mean,
Yeah,
they were
so if
solid.
you want to give him, so Tapology actually has him right above um Mauricio Ruffy, who is ranked
Yeah.
in the top 10. Just got or not top 15. Just got a win himself. He's sitting down there. No, he's sitting down there at number 14. He's obviously going to move up since he just beat Fazeev, who was sitting at number 9. So I mean, like other people, hey, if you want to put him against like maybe Bobby Green, Alexander Hernandez, if he's able to come back, obviously his fight with Michael Johnson got canceled. So yeah, I think he's kind of in that grouping there. So like Bobby Green, Michael Johnson, Alexander Hernandez, all those guys far more experienced at
Yeah.
Quinlan, but those are the type of names I would be looking to match him up with.
The
We can do the
experienced
matchmaking if you
experienced
want.
veterans that are yeah.
We Sorry, we can do the matchmaking if you want. I just wasn't prepared for it. That's why. But
Oh no, I was just gonna do a couple of maybe basic questions, not go through every person, just maybe like a half
yeah,
person.
yeah. All right, but yeah, first fight good. Again, 3 performance bonuses and 4 fights. That's great. Now it's $100,000. So the
Shout
guys
out to the UFC and Dana White for
doing
getting
good.
that up.
All right, let's get into the second fight of the night and to this just slop fest, terrible fight.
It was rough watching this one. Tai Tuivasa against Texera, man. God, sorry, I should have let you say it, but
Yeah, so I picked Towson to win by finish, and he did win, but he did not get a finish.
no, he should have gotten a finish.
Well, you want to know what's funny? If you go back on Paramount and you put in like just the recap, like the highlights of the fight,
Mm-hmm.
pretty much like it's about 4 minutes of highlights. It's like 3 minutes and 30 seconds of that is all from the first round. After I think in the second round, Towson landed a good knee on him, and then in the third round, and he won. Frankly, kind of look at it. Ty was landing. He was hitting him. So we can tell Towson Texera does have a chin because, Tuivasa was connecting, but,
Yes, he was at times
I
when he
got
wasn't on the ground.
yeah. I mean, at the same time, like Towson Texera has all those finishes. I don't know if he ever even hurt Tuivasa. It was definitely the cardio that hurt Tuivasa more than anything. After that first round, it just, and you saw it in both guys, neither one of them had nothing. And we assumed Carlson would be gassed out at if it made it past first round. He's never, his UFC career is less than 2 minutes. Now it's,
Now,
35 seconds plus 35 seconds plus 15 minutes. So he got a lot of round work in there, but you cannot say that was an exciting fight.
we saw a lot of Talison's cons in that fight.
Yeah.
You saw what
Yeah, it's like, I don't want to say a heavyweight lacks power, especially when he has been knocking people out, but like,
yeah.
we've seen Tua go down. Like, he kind of like gets overwhelmed, but like, he kept him, like, he fought a good fight, I guess, but like, when you have to cut weight to make the heavyweight limit, yeah, you're going to have a crap gas tank. Like,
Yeah,
it's going to
that's one
happen.
thing people need to realize. When you have to cut a massive amount of weight to make weight, you lose a lot of your stamina in the next fight or during that current fight.
And
And type
heavyweight,
of this, I was very disappointed in him. How do you go and you take off over a year and decide to dedicate to training, and you come in with that, and then that little bit of a gas tank? It was rough.
it's the problem of a guy like Tai Tuivasa. He's very similar to Derek Lewis. It's like,
Yeah,
he got like he's a little more exciting than Derek Lewis nowadays because he does get rattled and come back. He does have an amazing
yeah,
chin. But it's like it's one of those things where like while heavyweight is dire,
Yeah.
It's one of those things we've been watching, like the athletic heavyweight. We just look like those guys. If you're a dual threat, meaning you can strike and grapple, whether it's wrestling or jujitsu. If you got, if you can win fights on both the ground and the feet, if you got a gas tank, if you can put movement on there, we've seen like 90% of heavyweights just cannot handle that. It's just that's kind of how it is. That's last week. With Waldo Acosta Cortez against Derek Lewis. This was my entire thing. It's like it's the lateral movement. The boxing is going to outwork Derek. He's going to get the win because Derek's going to get tired. In this fight, I said Towson was going to get the finish over Tuivasa, but frankly, a lot of the same reasons. He's a younger, more athletic guy, even though he got gassed out after the first round, so that
Yeah.
didn't look good. But yeah, rough fight.
Man, the ending of that fight, it was like two bears just hugging on each other at the end.
Well, and like,
Tai Tuivasa
yeah,
did get position and
yeah,
trying
let's
to have a
talk
chance, but
about
they were still wore out. It was insane.
let's talk about their technical ability. Like, first of all, in the first round, Tolson gets the back,
Yes.
doesn't choke him out. He just does the
Yeah. Yeah. You're correct.
and yeah, I'm sure they hurt. They do damage,
A
but did
couple
good.
long elbows.
And later in the round, he gets full mount, and he just kind of, in 20 seconds left on the clock, he doesn't have a lot time left in the round. He's obviously already gassed, so he doesn't want to blow his load. But 20 seconds, you got to do some damage on top. You have to do damage when you're on top. You had full mount on the guy. Tua's not going to do anything. And then in the last round, Tua, 20 seconds left, gets on top, and he almost looks like he falls off the top because he was so exhausted. He just like lays over on the side, and that's when the round ended. It's like he finally got a top control and then gassed out from getting it and just rolled off to breathe on the side of the cage. Like,
It was
you know,
bad. It was bad. Tai Tuivasa, man, I don't know how much you have left in your fight contract with the UFC. If you are blessed with another fight in the UFC, you have to win or do something. If not, you're not going to be in
what's
the
he on?
UFC.
A seventh fight losing
This
streak
is a
now?
six.
This is six.
Pretty sure. I think he was on five and then went into six. Could be six going into seven. Either way, it's above five. And I
It's
don't want to
six.
say the two numbers that everybody's going to go crazy for if I say it, but
Yeah, it's six. It's not
okay.
seven. It's
Okay.
Um, yeah, you know what? You want to play matchmaker? Put him back up with Derek Lewis. I know it's a rematch, but both those guys are washed. Give him a rematch and let them both retired. Paulson, learn grappling.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It was like,
Let,
wow.
let's go up into the feature bout because I think we're going to have a lot better things to say.
Yeah.
Disrespect to Salkild, and disrespect intended to the heavyweights. That was terrible. I'm so glad I didn't have to pay for it.
Yeah.
That was, that used to always be my problem with these pay per views. I'm like, why are you putting a heavyweight fight on the main card? Don't do it. If it's not a first round knockdown, it just drags the pace of the fight. And you know what? Like, yeah, we had that first round submission, and then we had to watch those two jerks just like gas out in the cage for 50. Like, in that thing, they're gassed out. 13 like 2 minutes in. It's not like they went like gas in the third round. They were gassed in the first round and we had to watch that, and that took away all the momentum ahead of Mauricio Ruffy versus Rafael Fiziev, which that was an amazing fight. That was a great fight. Numbers.
That whole fight, it was like, who is going to get the freaking knockout? Who is going to get that
Mhm.
finish? Super fast paced, super electric. The crowd was into it. You could even tell the commentators were like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Especially
It
coming from the
was a
Tai
good
Tuivasa
fight.
fight. It was a fight that needed to happen right after the
It
Thai
was
fight.
definitely a good fight. I picked Fiziev. He obviously lost. Got finished, and it was interesting because Fiziev, I think, absolutely won the first round. He had the
He did.
pressure, he had the cage cut. He was really able to corral Hoofy back into the corner. The problem is, and he was getting his damage in. He was really landing his kicks to the legs. He was mixing in the grappling to try to wear down Hoofy and take that pop out of him. That was clearly the game plan. But for a lot of moments in that first round, you kind of get Pazeev backing him up with the cage cutting, but Hoofy, kind of taking a calm, but he just was landing his jab. And, he kind of took his time. He was definitely on the back foot, but he was still throwing back and he was landing that jab. meaning he's finding his range. And then, yeah, in that second round, he started, putting it together and just landing. Yeah. Once Fiziev started getting hit, he was just not the same fighter.
Nope, 100% correct. Once he started getting hit, it started going downhill for him. If he started putting on that pressure, started noticing that he was coming on a little decline, and he just kept going with it, kept going with his game plan. He never stepped away from that game plan. Just keep there, keep waiting, keep throwing, and got him. And he finally
I
did.
definitely would say so. One thing we completely missed in our pre-show, as we were talking about the Hoofy and the Fighting Nerds, we completely kind of missed the story of the week as to why is one of the Fighting Nerds fighting in Australia, not against an Australian. That's because he went and joined Volkanovski's camp. And as far as the game planning and patience, I think definitely improved. Took a little bit of the wild factor off him. Clearly, let's see if that stays or where that goes. Hopefully, he doesn't become like a boring fighter. I don't think he would, but definitely more disciplined in this fight. And hey, he got the finish over Rafael Fiziev, and like it's not an easy thing to do.
No, that is not. It is not at all. I'm trying to look up Volkanovski's camp name. What is that fighting?
City Kickboxing, right?
Yes,
Isn't he part of, or is that Izzy's? They're part of the same camp, though, aren't
they're
they?
part of the same camp because they train
Just
together.
different
Izzy and
location.
Yeah, but either way, whatever that camp does to train fighters and a game plan, they have great taping parties, tape watch groups. They come up with very sophisticated game plans, and one thing you've always noticed with them, they're not overly aggressive camps. They don't come in trying to get that first round finish. They don't come in. They're very good at lateral movement. They're very good with their feet work, and they're very good at waiting and waiting for the right moment to hit that perfect punch on somebody. And as showed in this fight with Huffy.
I just looked at Fiziev's track really quick. Like, yeah, 2 wars of Justin Gaethje, no, went to decision in both of them. Then he had, his other loss was he had the leg injury against Gamrot, and then there is a finish.
Bad leg injury.
Yeah. Then there is one other finish way back in the day. But yeah, no one's just, what is it? Spinning back fists and punches round 1 against Magomed Mustayev back in 2019. So we can kind of, not to ignore that. That's not in his ranked UFC career, so we can kind of look past it a little bit. 7 years ago, but yeah, no, man, like, wow, Hoofy just knocked out Fiziev, and it wasn't like a clean knockout. He hit him in this, and then Fiziev kind of tried to get up, and I think he was right. He was in the fight. You kind of see him stand up and then just like kind of fall, stagger back, and just
he got rattled.
His body wasn't there, and then Hoofy closed different, saw that opportunity, got on top, and entered him out. I am okay with top matchmaking Hoofy because I want to see him moving up the division.
Yes.
Obviously he just got the win. He was sitting at what was it? Number 14. He just got the win over number 9. And BSD, was at number 8, and he just got that win himself over Dan Hooker, who was at number 6. So we're going to see Hooker falling down, and we're going to see Fiziev falling down. I don't know if Dan Hooker falls out of the top 10, but Fiziev probably will here. So yeah, I mean, who would you like to see? I mean, Ruffy and BSD both just got a win. BSD completely dominated Hoofy in their last fight, so I'm kind of looking forward to maybe them meeting back up later on, like, in the either for the belt or as an eliminator for the belt.
Yeah, that would be a fun fight to see again because they both, especially in this most recent matches that we just saw, they both have very fun, electrifying styles, and they both have gotten better too.
I'm not sure if I've seen Hoofy get better enough to stop BSD's takedown and ground and pound, but that's more for the next fight. I'd like to see. I think right now, I kind of want to see him watch Renato Moicano, since Brian Ortega just had to pull out of that fight with him. That's next month, so maybe it's a little early. But Moicano versus Hoofy, that'd be a fun fight.
Yeah, that'll be a very fun fight. I'm pulling up the ranking. That will never happen.
Not going to happen.
I'm just going down the list. Max Holloway, no. Paddy Pimblett, no. Dan Hooker lost, so no. They always like to do winners, like if somebody won.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we'll skip ahead. Not
Dan
skip ahead, but Dan Hooker needs to fight Paddy Pimblett now.
Yes.
If he, that's one of the big fights available to him. Dan Hooker needs to get that fight now.
Yeah. Renato, that'll be a fun one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Oh, also Mauricio Ruffy won the performance of the night.
Benito will be fun, but I don't. It's kind of a hard matchmaking for him.
Yeah, like I said, I think Moicano might be a good
That's the only
match.
one I was saying. I was like, Ronaldo was the only one I was like, okay, I could see that.
Good at this.
Yeah.
Anything else you
He
want
ain't
to say
going
on that fight?
he's not
I
going
know
to
we're
jump
going
like
a little.
too far in the rankings. Yeah, McConnell. I'll give it McConnell.
Anything else? I know we're going a little quick. Anything else you want to say on that fight before we get into our co-main?
No, no, let's go right into the co-main.
All right, set it up. Go ahead, buddy.
Dan Hangman Hooker. I'm about to cry every time he gets it. Oh, St. Dennis. It's sad. I really wanted Hooker to win. And I knew that most likely wasn't going to happen. And it didn't happen. It finished in a second round knockout.
Dan Hooker now on a 2-fight losing streak to Armin Sarukian and Benoit Saint Denis, both finishes in round 2.
Yes. What did I write down on my notes?
Which I
Round one,
will
Hooker
say,
looked good on his feet, but kept getting taken down to the ground. Second round, surprised he lasted that long on the ground. Brutal ground and pound for Hooker.
Dan Hooker shot the takedown that let BSD take him to the ground.
Yeah, I don't understand why he did that.
Really quick, I was going to say Dan
Okay.
Hooker now on his second recent 2-fight losing streak. It's his third in his UFC career. It is his third 2-fight losing streak. So let's rank them. Okay, his first 2-fight losing streak in 2020 and 2021 was the decision loss to Poirier, and then the ground and pound loss to Michael Chandler.
Mm-hmm.
Then he loses to Islam Makhachev by Kimura, and he drops down to featherweight to fight Arnold Allen, and he gets knocked out. Both of those are first round finishes.
Also against that, Arnold Allen.
Yeah. And then now we're on his third 2-fight losing streak in the UFC against Armin Sarukian and Benoit Saint Denis, a arm triangle choke, and then punches and elbows from the mount
Yeah.
in both in the second round. So BSD and Armin, Allen and Makachev, or Chandler and Poirier. I don't know which ones. Like, at least there's no bad names in it.
No, that's the thing. Like I said in the last video we did, every time he gets into that top 5 fighters, he can never get over that hump.
And not only that, but like these top fighters. I mean, obviously we can go back to the Poirier one, and frankly, that's where you kind of look a little. Okay, those are his last 6 losses. You go, yeah, he lost to Poirier by decision. And then every loss he's had since the Poirier fight has been a finish. Round one, round one, round one, round two, round two. And it's like, yeah, Dustin put some damage on the Hangman.
Man, he's such a jerk. He's such a definition of if you get past Dan Hooker, you can get into the top 5.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess that was what we said for BSD. Is this fight, this was his fight. That was the story going into this fight. Is he a Dan Hooker level fighter, or is he a better than Dan Hooker level fighter? And
He's better than Dan Hooker. Let him fire.
And you know what, bro? Like, didn't you feel like a little nostalgic watching that fight with the ground and pound?
Yeah.
Because no one throws ground and pound anymore. Not like that. And BSC just got on top and with the elbows. You know what I mean?
It was brutal. It was a brutal second round. So much ground and pound, so much punches, so much elbows, and they were just connecting clean too a lot of the times. Hooker did get avoided it in the beginning. He was like on the ground just moving around, but
yeah, he had good movement. I mean, Hooker has great survival instincts. He survived round 1. I'm like, how's he going to do this? And he did, but then just got immediately like BSD had in the numbers like, yeah, take this guy down, pound him out.
Yeah.
Done. And, that's kind of been a problem for Hooker for a while. It's like, he hasn't fixed it. So, yeah, he can fight wars and you can put him in wars, but like, you put him against a guy that can shoot a takedown. That guy's going to mess him up. And that's why this Patty the Batty Dan Hooker fight's great because Patty can't shoot takedowns. We saw that. He can't grapple. And once you're in the scramble, he can take your back and choke you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just keep it standing with Patty, he's just going to be lunging at you. He can't take you down. The Dan Hooker Patty the Batty fight, I am more high on that now.
Next fight for Dan Hooker has to be Patty the Batty. It would be very crazy
for a big money fight.
Yes. Yeah, the last stop for Dan Hooker for a good size money fight, and it'd be crazy for Paddy Pimblett's camp to not take a fight against a guy that doesn't like go to the ground.
He has no answer if you get on top of him. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Dan Hooker, a fan favorite. Patty Batty, a fan favorite too. It'd be a fun fight.
Let's talk about BSD. Oh, man, I did yell at Herb a little bit because I was on the couch. I'm like, "Come on, Herb!" That second round because he's landing the elbows, and then you just get to the point where Dan Hooker has like this
Yeah.
move going on, and you just get BSD going bam,
You
bam,
know,
bam,
over
bam,
top
bam.
under, over top under, over top under.
It's just like, damn, he's racking up a Mortal Kombat. Like he's about to use his ultimate move
Yeah.
and just like rip Dan Hooker's head off or something. Like it was wild.
Shout out to BSD. You showed us what you can do. It's your time to shine too. It's your time to go into the top 5 and take somebody out. Now that'd be an interesting matchmaking. Who would you go for BSD?
Well, he just beat Dan Hooker, so let's say he goes up to number 6. Above him, Patty the Batty, Max
Yeah.
Holloway, Oliveira, Armin Gaethje. DC asked BSD what does he want. He says he wants the undisputed title or the BMF. Now I don't know how he can ask for an undisputed title because the title is currently disputed. Justin Gaethje's
Yeah, that makes no sense because it's literally
he's calling for either Ilya or Justin to be stripped and to fight one of them, I guess.
yeah.
Or he did say the BMF. So here's my problem with BSD fighting for the BMF. I like it. I'm okay with the BMF, but that should not be what the young fighters are fighting towards. They should be fighting towards the championship, and the BMF should be saved for the, post-prime championship level fighters who just go to war.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I totally agree. No younger style fighter should be going for a BMF title. You're not fully proven, and he's not really necessarily like a big popular fan favorite, even though he is in the top 10, right? He's getting there.
He's definitely getting there, and he has a lot of French people that like him.
He's just not at the level of Max Holloway, Jorge Masvidal, Nate Diaz, the BMF.
Well, and it's like, frankly, he's good. His war with Poirier was great, but it's like, bro, like, you should be trying to work your way towards a title fight. I mean,
He should have called out Charles Oliveira.
Well, Charles is fighting for the BMF. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's like a winner of Charles versus Max, and like, yeah, that can be fun. But like, if you do that, it's like,
if Charles wins,
that's
give
not
it
what the BMF is for.
No, that is correct.
Which leaves like, okay, if you remove Max and Oliveira, you got Armin, you got Gaethje. I'm okay with it. Either one of those. If like Ilya, depends when Ilya's coming back. Like, frankly, I think Armin should fight Ilya. That's the fight I want to see. But if we can't do it, yeah, put Gaethje and Armin, or Gaethje and Ilya together, and then matchmake Armin and BSD underneath that. Or if you strip one of them, okay, the way this should be, let's say Gaethje just beat Patty, there was no interim. My rankings are Ilya champion, Armin, BSD, Gaethje.
I can
That's
agree.
where I'm and so you could put Gaethje and BSD together. I'd like that fight. I think it could be a fun fight. Frankly, I think it's the better fight of what we saw. I think, honestly, BSD is the better version of Paddy Pimblett.
Yes, he is. I just don't see Gaethje taking that fight for some reason.
No, of course not. Why would you? You're the interim champ.
Armin, I can see that a little bit more.
I don't think Armin takes the fight. I think he wants to fight for the
champion. Yeah, no, that's the other thing, too.
And BSD doesn't want to fight Armin or Gaethje. He wants to fight for the champion. This is the we need.
And Patty's not even going to be in the question anymore.
He's not in the question. It's the question is going to be if Max beats Oliveira, then Max I think is involved because Max would be what on a. What would Max streak be then? Yeah, he would have. Well, no, he'd be on a. He beats Poirier, loses to Topuria, beats Gaethje.
That's right.
So he's not really on he'll be on a 2-fight streak. But yeah, he beats Oliveira. I mean, yeah, I guess if he beats Oliveira, it'd still be too soon to match him against Topuria.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lightweight has a very interesting matchmaking problem at it.
Yeah, it's Armin Gaethje. It's because of the interims. It's because of Islam moving up. It's like, and these top guys not fighting. I like the BMF. It's a good way to get these legends money, but it does also offer like another route. It's like, well, why would I go for the belt when I can go this when there's so much back? Like BSC saying like, yeah, I'll go for the BMF. I'm a BMF. It's like, you have the fight style, but you don't have the fights. And that's where I always said like, yeah, if Dan Hooker won this fight, yeah, Dan Hooker shouldn't even be looking at the title. No. He should go fight for the BMF. So, but yeah, no, Dan Hooker lost. So I'd say he should fight Patty and BSD. Frankly, I guess Armin would be the move.
Yeah, right now Armin, but he's most likely going to have to wait a little bit longer than what he'd want to.
I think they're all waiting.
Yeah.
Because Ilya's like, I just hope when the lightweight champion is back in circulation, this has been an issue since Conor McGregor. Like, lightweight title fights, Islam did good for a while there with getting them frequently out there, but like, it then became like, it just slows down. And like, for so many great fighters to be in this division, I really wish this belt would get defended like 3 times a year and just
Totally
work
agree.
through some contenders.
Totally agree.
Anything left on the co-main?
No, I think we talked about it solid.
Anything else on the rest of the fight card you want to mention? I would say Cody Brundage fight versus Cam Ralston. That was a fun one. Brundage got beat up, but Ralston, that was a fun fight. Not too much to say. I did feel bad that Oban Elliott lost. I like him a lot, but that was okay. The Ofley versus Yiza fight, that was a great fight. Not sure if Khan Ofley won down there on the early prelims. I thought Yiza might have got it done. And I will say the 2 opening fights, the Nakamura versus Slazy, and the Sulan Granbo versus Lawrence Liu for the road to UFC fights, those are actually pretty good as well. Nothing really to say about them, but good fights, actually.
Yeah. All fun, good, lower-ranked fights. Good to see them. A lot of those guys get their wins. A lot of the people we kind of leaned at, kind of knew they were going to win it. But
all right, let's talk the main event. Alexander Volkanovski wins by decision again against Diego Lopes to end their rematch. The thing is, Diego Lopes did improve. He did better to stop Volk's cage cutting, but it's like, wow, it's like you got past one layer, and then here's the several other layers of trying to beat Alexander Volkanovski. And it's just like making one adjustment between fights just was not going to be enough to get it done.
Every time Lopes got actually a clean hit, solid hit him hard, he didn't make much out of it after that.
Well, I think Volk was winning the exchanges. Like, every time he got hit, Volk made sure to land again, and then he would just pivot out of there. And it's like he might not have been first, but he was winning the exchanges.
And Volk's feet work was astounding.
Yeah.
It was, just in and out, lateral movement, then jumping in and getting a 1-2, then backing it out, and then making a miss. And then when he did take a hit, he hit him right back.
And grappling and putting him up against the fence, by like killing a minute here, you know, like just Volk with the mask, like especially that 5th round. It's just, you saw when, was it a slip that Diego did? He like slipped for a minute or something and like was off balance, and Volk just like took that, ran him against the cage and just held him like, and you can see him, he's looking up at the clock, just wearing it down, and then eventually he broke out there, like, but he just killed him in it.
It was wild seeing Volk. It was like he was like the dominant dancer in a fight. He led. Yeah. He had Lopez
survived, you know. But like, and that's the thing. What's going to be fun with watching Volk, which sucks, is like you're gonna start playing against all these like dangerous young guys, and we're like, okay, it's going to be like Volk should lose this. He's old, but how's he going to get out of this one? And like, I feel like that's going to be the era of Volkanovski fights now, because he just did it twice with Diego Lopes.
The game plan that comes out of that camp and the footage that they watched and how they inquire into the fights, they're one of the best camps at doing that. And they showed it early in the fight, and they showed it now.
1 second.
Okay, we'll just edit this out.
Sorry about that. That was an emergency.
You're good.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead.
Like I was saying, with his camp strategy and coming into these fights and getting fighters ready is exceptional. What they can do, the preparation work that they do to training, and then just having the ability of all the gas tanks. All those fighters that come out of there, their gas tanks are insane. Even in the 5th round, Volk looked like he was still fighting like he was in the 1st round. And he looked like he was barely sweating. It was wild.
And that's the thing. Volk comes in tremendous shape. And then it's just like, and he even kind of said in the chat, and I think DC is like, oh, what does it mean to be a champion like this? He's like, he kind of just like, it's all about the adjustments you make. And not just between fights, but in the fight. And that's like the kind of thing you go back and watch the Max Holloway fights. And that's where it's like, because that was like Max Holloway's great thing against Jose Aldo. He's like, okay, I'm going to circle this way one fight, and then the next fight, I'm going to circle the other way.
Yes.
And then it's just like, and he can make adjustments mid-fight and show you a new look. And people are like, oh, damn, I wasn't prepared for this. But Alexander Volkanovski can do that, but then take it to like the absolute top level where against Max Holloway, Max is doing good, adjusting, and then he's like, oh, I'm out of tools. And Volkanovski is carrying like 2 tool bags, one on each hand. And it's like I got all the tools, I got all the conditioning, I got all the brains,
Yeah.
and it's just like,
Even when Diego Lopes would switch into southpaw and go more lateral with it and try to get the overhand right and try to make Volk go right instead of going left, it didn't work out. Volk had a Molly, get off me. Volk had an answer for all of those things.
yeah, and like that's the thing where you saw like, yeah, Diego improved between fights. It's almost like, yeah, he came up with a new game plan, implemented it, it had more success, but then Volkanovski's like, okay, we're
Yeah.
doing this now. And then yeah, like Diego was just not able to pivot the game plan, and then it turned into the first fight where it's like I just like once I hit him, my game plan's going to work, and then he lands, and then Volk's still like, okay, still here. And it's like, yeah, Volk's chinny, but he just keeps surviving. And
Another reason why Volk is most likely to go.
well, I said it, and like I know everyone's just waiting on Derek Strom to say something before they go with it, but like Volk beats Diego Lopes a second time after just giving this guy like Diego Lopes got a title fight. He got to go back down, retool against another dangerous fighter, not finish him, and then get an immediate fight back against Volk. And Volk didn't take any fights in between. He's like, yeah, I'll take on all comers. You want to give the same guy immediate rematch? Okay, let's do it. And yeah, he had nothing. Like Diego, I mean, yeah, he has power, and it's like, it's going to be how disappointing would it have been if you saw Volkanovski just completely dominate Lopes for a second time, and then Lopes lands the lucky striker's punch in
Oh, it
the
would have
end
been
of the
very,
fight.
very disappointing.
It's like, and how I that's just how I feel like Volkanovski is at this point.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, we're never going to see anyone beat this guy. It's just like they're either going to be bigger than him or they're going to be younger than him. Because that's really why I think Islam was able to beat him. I think
No,
Topuria, I would love to watch a rematch against him and Topuria, to be honest.
him against. Oh yeah, that's. I don't know who else you gonna put up against him.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
can't put him back.
no. It was crazy because even every time Diego Lopes would connect a powerful punch, Volk just like ate it, and it was like okay,
Mm-hmm.
and that was Diego Lopez's best punch, and it just did not work out. Did not. And going 5 rounds against Volkanovski, it's terrifying because you have to
Yeah.
keep up with him, and he's leading the fight, and he's making you follow him. Super tiring. It's hard. It's a very hard fight. He did actually. I have to take my hat off to Diego Lopes. I mean, he did do a lot better. He did do solid in this fight with improvements in footwork, improvements in getting connections, and improvements without being just completely dominated throughout the fight. It still wasn't his time, and Volk shows why he's a true champ and one of the best to ever do it.
Yeah, so let's talk matchmaking for this one, I guess. I know we talked about we weren't going to do it, but might as well since we've done it for all the others. Where does Diego Lopes go from here, and where does Lerone? I think I kind of
Lerone.
said it. And where does they go from here? Lerone Murphy and I'm going first since I already accidentally did. Lerone Murphy, Movsar Avoilov, they're the two top contenders at lightweight. Give Movsar to Volk, let him take out the most dangerous game skill set in the division, which is just his heavy pressure wrestle style. Might be a boring fight. Let Volk go against that. And yeah, put Diego Lopes against Lerone Murphy.
No, you couldn't have said it any better. It's most our time to go and try to fight Volk. And Diego Lopes against Lerone Murphy. Diego Lopes still showed that he can still compete at a high level, even against Volkanovski. If he can go and beat Lerone Murphy,
Yeah, I
it
mean,
might be around that time Volk starts to consider retirement too.
well, like Lerone Murphy's good. He's on the, isn't he undefeated? I don't know if he's
He's
undefeated,
17-0
but
and 1.
yeah, he's on a 9-fight win streak.
Yeah, he just has
8
one
wins
draw,
by
no
knockout,
losses.
7 first round finishes.
Yeah.
Murphy, Emmett, Ige, Barboza. I'm not that name. Okay, but that's the thing. Okay, so his last 4 are the ones that count. It's in Barboza in the year 2024. That doesn't mean much. And Ige, good fighter, beats Josh Emmett. Decision Josh Emmett, and then he knocked out Aaron Pico. Yeah, I think it's time. Put him against a Diego Lopes. Put him against like if Diego needs time. You can put him against Yair Rodriguez. You can put him against Aljamain Sterling, even though Sterling just lost.
If he puts him up against Diego Lopes, it would be about, since he fought in August Lerone Murphy last time, it'd be about 9 months, I'd say, since he's fought his last fight.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be too bad, especially once you get in a higher ranks.
Yeah, it was August 2025 was Lerone Murphy's last fight. It was a first round knockout, so he didn't take that much damage.
No.
We know Volk likes to fight a lot. You could absolutely put these guys. I mean, Diego Lopez, he just went through it, so he might need some time off. So like that's you can even do though like John Silva versus Lerone Murphy. I think Lerone Murphy is a great, kind of like the Leon Edwards, great technical strider. Maybe a little boring, but at least technique wise, he's solid. So yeah, it's time to put him against a striking, a fun, power, John Silva, Diego Lopez, Rodriguez. Put him against one of those guys. If he can beat one of those guys, put him up against Volk because Volk needs contenders.
Yeah, and there's a lot of options for Lerone Murphy. I mean, those are a lot of great options.
There's a lot. I think he just needs to fight. Because like that's the thing. It's like, oh, he's on a 9-fight win streak. I'm like, yeah, but 4 of the names kind of suck. Not that they suck. Like Aaron Pico, Josh Emmett, and Ige, they don't suck, but like, you know what I mean? Like
they're not top 5. They're not,
they're not
top 10.
Ige's the only one that I think is really top 10. I mean, Murphy's not Murphy. Josh Emmett, no disrespect to him, but he was just, is he really a top 10 fighter? Like,
he's 11th. Dan Ige's 14.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm talking about more like the time that he beat them, they were top 10.
Yeah.
But like, Josh Emmett just, has a brick chin and a hammer hands.
Yeah.
Like,
freaking
right.
Josh Emmett.
I think that's our UFC 325 Volkanovski versus Lopez 2 postcard review. Unless you have anything else you want to talk, I think
we did solid. Please like and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Spotify. We're 5 different channels. I've been kind of considering back in my head putting it on Facebook Reels too. Once we get a little bit better, I'm going to do Facebook Reels. Until then, peace. Love you.
Peace. See ya.
See ya.